Well, it's been a month. The Euros has been on. It's coming home. But before that, we are back live on Red Devil Weekly. It's been too long. And I apologise because I didn't think I was going to be out of the game for that long. I know it's only really been a month, but I'm sure you've missed me. Well, we'll see about that, obviously. But thanks to everyone who does tune in. Really do appreciate it. As always, before we go live, make sure... Well, not before we go live, but before we start, please do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. I've been on a few streams as well. I've been on Alice's channel, been on Rich's channel as well. Been on a few channels during the hiatus, but I just haven't been uploading on this channel. And to be honest with you, I could give you a good reason, but I don't really have too many good reasons, to be honest. Because I could say I was a little bit busy with exams and stuff. That was the main reason I didn't upload in the first few weeks of the month. But the rest of it, I just haven't been having that much Man United content to report on. Obviously now, the Jadon Sancho story is broken. It broke a couple of days ago. I was a bit late on it, but I want to have my say on it. I want you guys to have your say on it as well. But it's great to be back. It's great to be back talking to you guys on the channel as well. And also, thank you very much for all the subscribers I got on the hiatus as well. We gained a few more subscribers, getting closer to that 900 subscriber mark. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely amazing. So please do help us out. We've got a few people coming in already. Cheers to G from Red Devil Studio. Make sure you check his channel out. Brilliant stuff over there. Even doing some Euros content. So make sure if you're watching the Euros, check him out. Brilliant stuff on his channel. Tom, Footage Live, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it as always. And I see as well, Adam's in here. And I've got, obviously, Adam, Tom, a few other people who are regular guests on the channel. You know what? It might be time to get people back on because I haven't had people on in a while. I know when I was at uni, I didn't really have too many people on because I was busy. The streams weren't as long. But this one, I definitely can, maybe get a few people on. The usual suspects back on, and we'll see what people have to say, because I know after a month you guys will have a lot to say, especially on the Jadon Sancho story. Graham, thanks for joining. Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the support. I miss you guys too. So thank you so much, Graham. Really do appreciate the support. Box, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you as always. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, massively, absolutely. I tell you what, who would have thought at the start of this tournament, a semi-final against Denmark at Wembley, 60,000 people are going to be in Wembley. It's going to be a brilliant occasion. No matter whether England win or lose, it's going to be a brilliant occasion. And hopefully England are on the right side of this one this time. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Make sure you check out Rich's channel. Brilliant stuff on there. As I said, I was on a few channels during this month hiatus. One of them was Rich's channel, so make sure you do check out Rich's channel, Rich Sports, as always. If you haven't already, I'm sure you guys, a lot of you guys watching have already checked out Rich. You already know the legendary status that Rich has around here, but make sure if you haven't already, go and check out his channel. Brilliant stuff on there. So yeah. Let's get into the Sancho news, shall we? I know you guys, we're all Man United fans here. We all have social media. We all know the story by now. I'll give you a little bit of the rundown. Manchester United tweeted out. They tweeted, obviously Fabrizio Romano gave it the official stamp, because I think now we know that Fabrizio Romano is almost more official with transfers than the actual clubs themselves these days, I tell you. But he obviously tweeted the "Here we go" on Jadon Sancho. As we know, we knew it was going to get a massive reaction when it did. Man United then came out soon after and obviously tweeted out that the deal was done. £73 million, which is about 90 million euros, or 85 million euros, if I'm not mistaken. You guys, of course, in the live chat can help me out with that. But we got him for a bit more of a reduced price than I thought. I thought that, this is going to be one of those long, drawn-out transfer sagas where, Dortmund would say, we want 100 million, and we go, all right, how about 70? And they'll go, we want 100. Okay, how about 80? And we do that back and forth, and then we just end up paying the amount we want. We've done it so many times with these transfer sagas, and I just thought it'd be the exact same thing with this one. And it spanned over 2 years, and as I've said on streams I've been on, really, it's just more of a relief to get it done. In the end of the day, I think a lot of people were excited on the day of the announcement, but I think most of the feeling was still relief because, having a transfer saga that spans over 2 years is just not acceptable. I know, obviously, we've got the player now and we don't have to worry about how long it took anymore, but to wait that long and to be that inept in negotiations whilst it's not surprising that we were that inept in negotiations, it's just not acceptable. And obviously, some people are praising Murta, obviously the new director of football, who helped broker the deal. But in the end of the day, this deal should have been wrapped up much sooner than it was. But it's good that it is wrapped up. It's good that it's finally done. Obviously, after the Euros, which hopefully is going to be after the final for Jadon Sancho, he'll do the medical and sign all the relevant documents, and we'll hopefully see him in pre-season training very, very soon. But I'm very happy we signed Sancho. Listen, in the end of the day, we can talk about the negatives in terms of how long it took or how much money we spent, but I actually think, that the player we're bringing in is a top-class player, an out-and-out winger as well, not someone who can play all three positions, although I think he can also play off the left as well as the right. But, we've got a lot of players in Martial, in Rashford, and in Mason Greenwood who play across the front three, and to be fair, when they were actually playing in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season, they scored the most out of any front three in Europe, and obviously everything was rosy, but none of them were really out-and-out wingers, if you know what I mean. So to have Sancho on that right-hand side, well, it's been a position that has troubled us a lot, and we've had a bit of a lack of quality in that position as of late. To have Jadon Sancho in there, I think, is absolutely huge. And the fact he's 21, he's still got a load of time left in his career, it's huge. It's huge. So I think £73 million, hopefully, fingers crossed, will turn out to be an absolute steal for Jadon Sancho, and hopefully he continues to have a decent Euros. I think he played well in Rome last night. I thought he had a decent game. I don't think he kind of set the world alight or anything, but I thought he had a brilliant game. And, he had some brilliant touches as well, some great bits for the highlight reel, but obviously, he's just getting started, and hopefully he saves that good form for Manchester United. But I tell you what, if he can help England on the way as well, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Rich says, I can almost taste the Royal fans at the news of Sancho deal. Exactly. I think a lot of Chelsea fans were eating humble pie. I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans who thought that maybe they'd be able to steal Jadon Sancho away. But trust me, after last summer, I think a lot of United fans just knew Man United was always on his mind. It was always on his mind. And obviously the deal got done very, very quickly. Tom says, Kieran, where's Owen? Has he gone to ground? I don't know where he is. I honestly don't know. It's that there are some times when even we're in the same house, I have no idea where he is. Maybe he'll make an appearance. Who knows? Oh, speak of the devil, here he is. He says, if Varane leaves Madrid, it will be for United. We'll see about that. We'll talk about Varane in just a second, because I see you guys in the comments are obviously mentioning Raphael Varane. As Tom says, Varane 2021. Who knows? I hope so. I tell you what, I hope so. I want to see more and more, more, what's the word? I don't know the exact word, but just more ambition shown, and we've shown ambition in bringing Sancho in. We need to continue that momentum, and obviously, again, I reiterate the message. I know there's some people on this channel who've called me a bit of a Glazer puppet, but the Glazers still need to go, regardless of what transfer window we have, regardless of how much money they spend, or how much of the money that they've made they spend, not the money that's coming directly out of their pockets. Don't forget that. None of this money is coming directly out of those Glazers' pockets. All of this money is coming out of what we've made for the club in ticket sales, in merchandise sales. None of it is coming out of their pockets. So just remember that. I know people say, oh, well, look, the Glazers spending money. But none of it is coming out of their pockets. None of it. Trust me. Absolutely none of it. And I'm not even a financial expert, but I can tell you that for a fact. None of this out of their pockets. So, in the end of the day, I feel like even though we've some players, it looks like we've signed Sancho, obviously potentially Raphael Varane as well. Hopefully a CDM. That's the biggest point of concern for me. But hopefully we can get those positions tidied up, bring in some decent players, but still, the message has to be that the owners need to vacate. So that's my message. That's my Red Devil Weekly stamp of approval. Adam says, Footy Live, is Varane using us for contract at Madrid? Who knows? I tell you what, I hope not, but who knows? And Box asks, will a DM be signed? Don't know. I'm not in the know. I'm not someone who confesses to know more than the average football fan. I really don't. So I kind of just give my thoughts on the transfer news that's out there. You'll never see me saying, my source has said. Hopefully in the future, who knows, I might have some sources and I might be able to feed you guys that information. But as of right now, I don't have any of those top-class Tier 1 journalist sources or anything like that. I'm just reporting what's out there. So that's my take on that. But I hope you're right. I hope we do sign a CDM, to answer your question. Graham also says Gilberto Carlos lit the pitch on fire last night. He was fantastic as well. We'll talk about the Man United players' performance in the Euros in a bit as well. John, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says the champ is finally here. We'll see about that. But cheers for joining. I know you've been getting on me to try and do this stream, but cheers for tuning in anyway. Appreciate it. I'm sure we'll have a bit of a back and forth soon rather than later. Rich says, Leicester fans are getting cocky. We need to make sure we give them a kicking soon. I said, I hope so. Listen, I know Leicester have made that signing. I think Daka, was it? It's not a bad signing. Listen, it's not a bad signing for Leicester, but I think the FA Cup has got to their heads a little bit. I think winning the FA Cup has definitely gone to their heads a little bit. But they need a little bit of a humbling. And who better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United to give them that humbling? And hopefully we do that. And hopefully win the league this season. But again, that's a whole different stream. John says, Kieran, stop lying. All the money is from the Glazers' pocket. I'm a financial expert and I'm telling you that it's coming from the Glazers' pocket. I'm sure you are, John. I'm sure you are. And Owen says, Kieran has a suspicious amount of knowledge about the Glazers' finances, almost as if he works for them. Oh, brilliant. Thanks for that. How long? 11 minutes in. I've been away for a month, and 11 minutes in, we've already got that. To be fair, I brought it on myself. I did bring it on myself. But let's talk about Raphael Varane. We've talked a little bit about Sancho, and I'm sure you guys over the past few weeks have already given your views on Jadon Sancho. If you want to leave more views in the live chat or the comment section down below if you're watching as a video, please do that. I read all your comments, so please do let me know your thoughts on the live chat and the comment section down below. But we'll talk about Raphael Varane. Now, for me, I think this deal is just screaming in your face that we should do it. It's a no-brainer for me. I know that he didn't have the best of Euros, but the pedigree he has, the experience he has, the winning mentality that he brings as well with all the trophies that Raphael Varane has won at Real Madrid. For me, it's a no-brainer. 50 million quid is the price that's being touted. I know that someone, I'm not sure who mentioned it, I can't remember who did in the live chat just then, about potentially Varane using us for a new contract. And we've seen that before with Raphael Varane. We've had strong links with him and he's used us for a new contract. We've seen that before. But I do feel like this time there's a little bit more of a chance. Not a huge amount more of a chance, because I think these sort of transfers don't happen overnight. But I still think there is a little bit more of a chance this time, simply because the Real Madrid team seem to be kind of going over the hill, or they might already be over the hill. Obviously, they're not the formidable Real Madrid team that is winning trophies year in, year out that we're used to. You know, a lot of their star players are getting older, are moving on. They've got some good young blood coming in, but they're just not the same team, and I feel like Varane might want a new challenge. Now, I've heard some reports that potentially he'd want to go back to France, to PSG. Obviously, PSG look like they're going to be bringing in Sergio Ramos, so who knows? Ramos and Varane, both at PSG, that would be a very interesting partnership indeed. I think if they were to sign Varane, they would have a very good chance of that Champions League, because they'd be bringing in people who aren't serial bottlers. You know, they'd be bringing in people who actually know how to win the Champions League. They won 4 Champions Leagues, I believe, both of them, so it's massive. I think it's massive for them if they're able to bring in Varane. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Maybe the fact that he has a proximity to his homeland, which is obviously France, that might help broker the deal. It might. But at the same time, money talks. And if we can provide the money, the finances, the contract that Varane wants, there's no reason why we can't go for him. In my opinion, there's absolutely no reason why we can't go for him. Matthew's joined us. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. Thanks for gracing us with your presence. He says, wasn't Saka injured? Obviously, replying to John saying it's a disgrace Saka got dropped for England in place of Sancho. England might have won 8-0 if Saka played. John, I'm going to leave that lying in the air. We're going to leave that floating in the air. But yeah, Varane, let me know your thoughts on Varane. Let me know your thoughts. Is he the guy to help us create even more defensive stability? Because, to be fair, if you looked at the numbers, if you looked at the statistics from last season, we had one of the best defences in the league. when Harry Maguire was in, and I know a lot of England fans have just woken up to the fact that Harry Maguire isn't an £80 million fridge. He's actually a decent player. He's actually pretty decent. I know he might not be worth 80 million, but he's still a pretty decent player. A lot of England fans are just waking up to that fact now, but I think some United fans have known that for ages. I know there's other United fans out there who still don't really rate Harry Maguire, but I don't see why. I really, really don't. Because I knew Harry Maguire was going to have a good impact on this England team when he came in, because I saw the impact that he had when he was out of the team, out of the Manchester United team. When we lost Harry Maguire to injury, we basically drew or lost all of our games towards the Europa League final, and then lost the Europa League final. Harry Maguire is a fantastic player at the back. I don't think he's, one of the best centre-backs in world football or anything like that, but at the end of the day, he's still one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League, in my opinion. I really, really do feel that, and hopefully he can continue this form. I really hope he can, because if he can, and we can bring in a centre-back next to him, we will have a very, very solid defence, especially with Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw can continue to perform like he is, boy, oh boy, the Premier League got to be worried. Welcome, Diego C. Palace. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. I think you're from Alice's stream, but thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. As I said, guys, hit that like button if you aren't already. Really, really do appreciate all of your support. But cheers for joining, Diego. Appreciate it. Owen says, for me, you play Foden against Denmark. I've heard the argument for that as well in person. Don't bother. Just don't bother. Rich says, must be a reason Owen isn't the mod. Matthew must be responsible, brother. Yeah, you probably hit the nail on the head there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Varane if you're watching. Let me know your thoughts on Raphael Varane, please. Dazza, thanks for joining as well. Dazza, he says, where you're back? I know, it feels good. It feels good to be back, Dazza. It feels good. Make sure to check out Dazza's channel as well. Done watch-longs for England and Germany games all through the Euros, and also most other Euros games as well. So make sure, if you love all things Euros and all things football, Man United of course, make sure to check out Dazza's channel. Brilliant stuff over there as usual. John says, by the way, Kieran, your defence was not as good as ours, as we conceded 39 goals last season and you conceded 44. Yeah, John, I've told you this before. In the end of the day, the defensive record doesn't matter. It's where you finish in the league that matters. And I think also those stats have been weighed a little bit, because we conceded 6 to Spurs at the start of the season. When you have stats like that, when you have games like that, one-off games where your defence is poor, it completely skews the stats. That's my feeling anyway. That's my feeling. But in the end of the day, I don't care even if those stats are true, which I think they are. To be fair, I've got no reason to say you're lying. I would take our defence over your defence every day of the week. Every day of the week, I would take our defence over yours. Mo, thanks for joining. Mo, appreciate it. Says centre-back and CDM, please. I hope so. Absolutely hope so. Absolutely hope so. But cheers for joining, Mo. Appreciate it. Good to see you back. Good to see everyone, really. Graham says, this Adam just wants to run his mouth. No, trust me, I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in due time, fellas. Don't worry about that. Fellas and ladies as well, if you're watching. We need to get that female demographic up. It must be. It must be. It's just like standing up when you shake hands and everything like that. It's just a sign of respect. Let's see. Matthew says, if we had another season of McFred, I'm going to cry. Don't do that. Don't do that. We just signed Sancho. Don't do that. But, I tell you what, in the big games, you can't argue with McFred. But, I'll leave that there. Before I start going on a bit of a curtail, I'll leave that there. Diego says, I reckon you guys getting both Varane and Sancho will be sending a statement to the Premiership title contenders. Yeah, I hope so. Big signings do send a statement. And we need to. We need to really impose ourselves on the Premier League, because I feel like in the last few seasons, yes, we've done alright, but we haven't really imposed ourselves on a title race. We were first for like 2 or 3 weeks, but we always knew we were going to drop off. There was never any sort of belief that we were actually going to win the league that season. So we want to be in a position where we actually get into the position where there's a genuine opportunity and genuine belief amongst the players and the fans that we're going to do it. And we haven't had that in so long, but we need it. We need it. And I feel like with these signings, there's no reason why we can't do it. I really, truly believe that. I truly believe that. John says, Kieran, you should be questioning why Varane wants to join Man United. He's won it all. He doesn't have the motivation or ambition anymore. He's joined United for the money. Or he just wants a new challenge. You know, why would someone like... who's that midfielder that joined you? Why would someone so promising and someone who's playing for such a good team, being in the Champions League every year in Aubameyang and as well Partey, why would they join Arsenal? Why did they join Arsenal? They're playing in the Champions League every year for Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund respectively. All of a sudden they join Arsenal. You guys would, I mean, where you finished last year, you guys would love to be anywhere near the Champions League, even near it. I mean, finishing 8th, that you're lucky to finish 8th in the end because you avoided the Conference League. I did notice that, Tom. I did notice that. It didn't go unnoticed, that one. Graham says, I think we should try a partnership with McTominay and Maguire if we don't get Varane. Interesting. I'm not sure if I'm too much of a fan of McTominay at centre-back. I don't think it would really work. But at the same time, I guess you've got to try things. But I just don't see McTominay being a good centre-back. I think we tried him away at West Ham under Jose Mourinho. But unfortunately, with that partnership, there'd be a distinct lack of pace. That's all I'm going to say. There'd be a distinct lack of pace with that partnership. So yeah. Dada says, why would you stay in the same league if you've been there for a long time? You sometimes need a new challenge. Exactly. I agree. I fully agree. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Varane. As I said, John is saying Varane wants to join for the money, just like Di Maria. It could. I mean, I'm not ruling it out because players do make those decisions. We've been, bitten by that before. I totally agree we have, but I think to say that we're not an attractive enough proposition that money would be the only driving force for joining us is deluded, in my opinion. It's deluded. We've got a young up-and-coming squad. We've made, Jadon Sancho as a big signing, a landmark signing. We've got Pogba, Fernandes, all of these guys in the squad. We've got a really good squad for players to come into. And in the end of the day, I know some people would say it's a little bit kind of arrogant and entitled, but I genuinely do believe that we've got a very good squad for players who might want a new challenge. I think Man United is a great club for that because we're in the ascendancy. There's no doubt in my mind. Maybe it's because in pre-season I'm always a little bit more optimistic than I am before the start of the season. But in pre-season, I still feel like with the squad the way it is, we have to be optimistic. We've got to be optimistic. We've got some very talented players. This squad's on the up. 100% this squad is on the up. Owen says, let's not use logic and reason when it comes to John comments. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But still, thanks for coming, John. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Anyway. Graham says McTominay plays centre-back for Scotland. He does. He does play centre-back for Scotland. And I sometimes wonder why. I was watching the England game where Raheem Sterling had McTominay on toast a few times. And maybe there was a reason why Scotland didn't get out of the group. But at the same time, I think Scotland as well, they're blessed to have people like John McGinn and other centre mids. And I feel like the way they play, they just couldn't fit McTominay in that position. But for me, I don't see why you put Scott McTominay as centre-back, just because I would be worried every single game watching Scott McTominay at the back. At least when he's in midfield, he's not the last line of defence. I just feel like he's a much better midfield player than he is at the back. I've got no doubt that McTominay would love to play anywhere on the pitch. He's that sort of warrior, he's that sort of fighter. He loves the club. He loves the club, he'd play anywhere. But for me, I just feel like his best position is probably in the midfield. John says, Kieran, tell me if Varane is so good, why have Bayern and PSG not gone for him? You don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Owen says, Scotland, France, Sweden and England's player of the tournament all play for United. Exactly. It's a good time for United right now. It's a good time to be a Manchester United fan with a Sancho signing. A lot of United players doing well in the Euros. Just fingers crossed for no injuries. That's all I'm going to say. Fingers crossed for no injuries. But yeah, we've talked a little about Varane. We've talked a little bit about Sancho. And apart from that, really, that was the main two stories I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now is where the fun happens, because the best thing about doing these Red Deal Weekly shows is getting people on, letting people have their say, and that is what we're going to do now. I'm going to put the link in the live chat, and we'll get people on. They can have their say, they can have their opinions heard live on Red Devil Weekly. Welcome, Naveen, by the way. Naveen, how are you doing? How are you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining. Always good to see you. He is absolutely buzzing for Jadon Sancho, and I'm so glad you are, and I'm sure everyone is buzzing. And actually, Dazza makes a good point. Tom Heaton. I feel a little bit bad for Tom Heaton because we've actually made a legitimate signing there, and it's kind of gone under the radar. You know, it's kind of gone under the radar. No one's really talking about it, and that's why I kind of feel bad for him. But I wonder which keeper is going to make way, because we can't have 4 keepers signed up. There's going to be 1 keeper at least who vacates that area. And we'll ask you guys in the live chat and also on stream as well, get a few guests on who they think that will be. So let's put the link in. And let's see what you guys have to say. Sometimes it's a little bit of a mystery what's going to come once I put the link in. Sometimes a little bit apprehensive because you never know what sort of characters are going to be coming on the stream. But we'll see. Hopefully tonight we'll have a very straightforward stream. Owen says, you're right. Oh, sorry, I need to read the other comment. Graham says Camavinga. Very interesting. I'm sure we'll be talking about that very, very shortly as well, in terms of other targets that Man United may be looking to sign. But yeah, he looks a decent prospect, to be fair to him. When did he first come up into the French national team? He was like 17 or something, 18. Ridiculous talent, ridiculous. But yeah, hopefully he continues to progress, and I wouldn't mind him. But we'll talk about Camavinga amongst other targets with the lads that are joining the stream right now. And I have to say, it's good to have you back on the channel, guys. It's good to be back talking to you guys. So thank you very much for coming on and clicking the link and joining in the fun. So yeah, cheers for coming on, lads. Appreciate it. I'll tell you what, we're going to start with Tom. We'll start with you, Tom. Obviously, you probably talked about Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane a lot in the past 2 weeks since I've been off, so I won't ask you about that. But one thing I will ask you is your opinion on who should be next in terms of which position should be prioritised. Now, if I say to you CDM, who would you go for in that position?
Without question, if there's no boundaries, I'd go for Wilfred Ndidi. If there's no boundaries on a price tag, it's the ideal player, carbon copy player that we need to play that position. You put him there and you free up Pogba and Fernandes to do what they want. You've got You've got probably one of the best midfielders in the world, if not the best, in terms of balance. Defensively, box to box type play with Pogba driving at people, and then Fernandes with the creative spark. You know, the only team that I saw who had that proper solidify there was Manchester City, probably a couple of years ago, when they had De Bruyne, they had Gundogan, and they had Fernandinho when they were a lot younger, and they mixed well. That's the only midfield duo that I've been massively impressed with in the modern era, and since Barcelona's 3 left with Iniesta and Xavi. Since those 2 left, I've not really been impressed with majorly with a whole balance of the midfield. But if you get that sort of CDM player in, like I've just said there with Ndidi, people can say with Rice and stuff. Rice is a similar thing, but I think for either player, you're going to be paying over £80 million anyway. And really, that's the Sancho money. And which is the bigger priority, Jadon Sancho or a CDM, really? You know, every fan can make up their own opinion on what they think to that. I would rather spend the Sancho money elsewhere than possibly sign him. If it meant we got a DM and a centre back, I wouldn't lose any sleep if we didn't sign Sancho, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, it's fairly decent point in terms of who we actually need. In my opinion, I think, CDM, centre-back are probably positions we need to prioritise a lot more. I mean, I'm happy we've got Sancho deal done, but if, we did end up not signing him in an alternate universe and we signed, an Ndidi or Varane, I think, the positions that need to be strengthened, most of them would have been strengthened, and obviously we could have got Sancho later down the line. If his head was really always on Manchester United, then you always feel like that deal would have been done in the end. But we've got a few people that have joined as well. Brendan, thanks for joining. He's already laying into you, Tom. He's already saying you don't like football. I know that's not true, Brendan. I know that's not true.
I don't like American football, if that's what you mean, Brendan. I don't like American football.
Well, yeah, I think probably you echo a lot of people's feeling in this comments. Although Rich does like American sports, so each their own. I can see Owen saying, doing his usual,
same bullshit as always.
doing his usual act about David De Gea, saying Dave is gone, thank God, with the greatest respect. I wouldn't expect anything else from Owen, to be honest with you. Wouldn't expect anything else. Naveen says Madrid wants 70 million euros for Varane, but United offering 40 plus bonus. I'm not sure how true that is, but in the end of the day, I think we should pay the money for him. I think he's someone we need to bring in. I mean, I think there's probably some alternatives out there, but the Varane deal to me is a deal that we should just get done.
If Varane
wants to leave,
if you've got the chance to buy him, it's one of those players you can't really refuse to turn down. Really.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can just base that off of what he's won and the age as well. He's still
yes,
quite
indeed.
This age.
Right. Well, on that. So sorry, Adam. What do you want to say? Sorry.
I was on TikTok on my FYP page, for you page, and I saw this City fan saying United are going after Varane. He wouldn't even get on our bench. He's actually won a Champions League, unlike you lot, though.
Well, yeah.
You love to see it.
Well, listen. All I'm going to say to them is good luck with that.
They can't sign any good players.
I mean, if it was up to Owen, he'd probably have Henderson at bloody defence.
Yeah, exactly. You'd probably play a back five. Probably try and play a back five. But we'll come to you, Dazza. We'll come to you. Obviously, you just there, delightfully mentioning Wilfred Ndidi. Would he be your number one choice? Obviously, in terms of CDM, everyone's saying we need a new CDM.
Yes,
would he be your number one choice?
You just said it.
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I just said it.
Fair enough.
Indeed, well, you asked, and I delivered. Indeed, he is a quality player. I think anyone in the Premier League, probably even Arsenal, would happily take him. Although, then again, knowing Johnny'd probably say, no, he's not good enough for Arsenal. Then again, I don't think you have to be good anyway for that club. So there you go. You don't have to be good anyway for that club. No, I'd take Ndidi any day of the week. I mean, he can't be worse than Fred.
Oh, well, that is saying something. That is saying something. You have to go a long way. You have to go. Although, to be fair, you know what, Fred... Well, to be fair, Fred's had a decent Copa America. I haven't been watching him, but I've heard good things. Matthew says, "I always enjoy seeing. I always enjoy seeing Kieran get a thorough roasting." Well, cheers for that. Appreciate that comment. Appreciate that one. We'll come to you, Graham. Next. You've been waiting there patiently. Obviously, Daz is there. Gave his stamp of approval for Wilfred Ndidi. Who would you like to see come in? Would you agree with Daz, or do you think there's another candidate out there that you go
for? Yeah, man. So I would even like Bissouma from Brighton.
Yep.
I think he's a good shout for CDM. Played amazingly well last season and was solid. I think Arsenal were going for him, but he's a top talent.
That might not be a good sign.
But he's a top talent. And I think he would do well in our center midfield and free up Pogba. Yeah, that's what we need right now. So yeah. So if there was another candidate, it would be Bissouma. Can't really see any other guys filling in that position, except Rice, but usual.
Would you say that Rice is maybe a little bit overpriced? You think he's maybe? I mean, I know he's had a fairly decent tournament for England, but would you say he's a bit overpriced at what, 80 million? Is it?
80 million, yeah. I think it is overpriced, but then again, does he really want to come to United? I think Chelsea, he's got his focus on Chelsea and he wants to go there. So
he's got his bromance.
Will he really be settling for United or really want to come there? That's a totally different question. So I think we should go for someone else, say Ndidi or Bissouma. But right now we're not really into talks with any of them. So I think Kamavinga is the next option that we're looking for. So I think Kamavinga would be a good deal, but then he's still young and he has a lot of proof, and I don't know whether he can do well in that position because he's more like a Pogba type player. So yeah,
he's more of a Pogba replacement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and he's also definitely more long term, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
But we've got a question as well. We've got a question. I'll throw it open to Adam first. Owen saying, question for the panel and anyone here, to be honest, is De Gea good enough to don the United shirt ever again? Now, obviously, Owen was very. I know for a fact.
I thought you were going to put the question saying about the thunderstorm.
No, well, we can answer that as well if you want. But I feel like, well, I know for a fact Owen was very badly affected by David De Gea missing that penalty. He was so badly affected, he was probably jumping for joy that he missed that penalty, to be honest with him, knowing his agenda. But I'll throw it open to you, Adam. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about transfers, but in terms of the current squad, David De Gea has been mentioned. In terms of the goalkeeping situation, Tom Heaton's obviously come in as well. That's a bit of transfer news that slipped under the radar. Who do you think, out of the kind of quartet now of goalkeepers, who do you think is going to be making way?
Before I go on to that De Gea point, can I just say who I think I'd like to see here?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
My dream signing, it's unrealistic, but if it means we're not signing Sancho, I would have put that 80 million on N'Golo Kante because he would have been perfect for United, but that's unrealistic.
N'Golo.
A guy that I'm thinking, this is more of a future type of player. We couldn't sign him and we got beat to him.
Yeah.
I honestly think that we're going to be bidding for Bellingham in a couple of years.
That's a good shout.
If we can't lure him from Birmingham, then we've got no chance in Dortmund, have we? Let's be honest.
Bro, let's be realistic. We're never getting Kante.
Yeah.
I agree.
You have another Matic situation. You'll get ransomed for an old man.
But with the goalkeeping situation, it's hard because you've got De Gea and Henderson. Both are good enough to start. Yeah, they both have made mistakes. And it's really hard. We all know, like, one of them's got to go right now. And to me, it looks like it's got to be De Gea. Just because I think, you think of Henderson, you know, he started the majority of the Premier League games when De Gea came back. And I'm not trying to disrespect De Gea, it's just that I feel like, how do I say it?
I was going to say something controversial then, but go on.
I think that De Gea is not doing the United shirt because he has saved us pretty much loads of times. But I feel like I'm thinking more what United will do. And I really think that they trust Henderson more than De Gea. So
because he's English.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Ollie does seem
Jobs
to like
for
his
the
English
boys.
players.
He hasn't got a foreign coach in his staff.
Jobs for the boys.
But yeah, I mean...
that's a good one. That's a good line.
I
Go on,
mean,
Tom, sorry. That's Adam, sorry.
Yeah, with De Gea, it looks... But the only problem is, Man U have messed up with that De Gea contract, giving him 275k a week because no one's really going to take him. Everyone's really got their keeper. I was thinking PSG, but now they've got Donnarumma. So...
I was going to say something controversial. I was going to say, if we don't think either of them are good enough, why wouldn't you go and get him for free? Donnarumma.
He's gone to PSG. We were too late.
I know he's going to PSG, but I mean, when he was just free on the
I mean,
market.
It would have been a good shout, to be fair. He's been brilliant in the Euros. He's been very, very good in the Euros. But I don't know.
With the centre-back thing, we've obviously know that right now it's basically Varane who's being talked about. I was watching a video from Romano this morning, and he said United will 100% sign a centre-back this summer. He didn't say which one because there are loads of names. Please don't be Paul Torres.
Well-
Please don't be Paul Torres. But, you know, right now it looks like
Funny thing is,
it just seems a bit like Varane's got 1 year left on his deal. It looks like he wants to leave. And like 3 or 4 months ago, he had a new agency, like, not sure what it's called, but I know they're heavily linked to like English football. So you're adding all that together.
Yeah, it's an English agent that he's got. Well, he's not English, but he's British. I
Yeah.
don't know where he's from. I'll have to double
Yeah.
check.
You're adding
Well,
all
that'll do. Close enough.
You're adding all that together. It's interesting.
Probably
I'm not saying we're
Scotland.
gonna.
Nah, he's from the borough.
I'm going to get in a few comments.
hey,
Let's
you've
read
done
what
anything
some of you
from
guys.
the bother.
Everything good comes out of the borough. Don't worry. Apart from Peterborough, of course. Sorry to anyone watching from there, but you know what you've done.
Well, that's an education.
Brendan says if De Gea leaves, it leaves us with Henderson, who is useless. So Brendan's obviously very
Owen's gonna
against De
come
Gea
to you now,
leaving.
Brendan.
Naveen says De Gea disrespect again. So obviously Naveen, of course, agreeing that we shouldn't get rid of David De Gea. We shouldn't get rid of him. I see a few more comments up here. John was saying, tell Tom to stop talking
Yeah, but he's getting
breeze.
paid 200k to sit on the bench.
Eco cares about Ndidi. We had someone's party join us.
Didn't
and he
you
left
lot make a
Champions League
song
football for us.
about him?
They did,
Listen,
and then they finished 8th.
Listen, John. You want to start all this bullshit? The bloody Partey song got memed after 24 hours. The first bloody game, it's already dead.
It was and
And then he's
I hadn't for the
Sean
receipt.
needs a massive.
Arteta's probably looking for the receipt. Where's my 45 million gone?
Can I just say, Adam, it's nothing trust me, it's nothing personal. I appreciate you joining. Thank you very much for joining. I don't want to lose you as a viewer. I didn't know you were from Peterborough. It's just a
Joined at the
Cambridge
worst
Peterborough
possible time,
rivalry.
didn't he?
Adam Lallana.
Adam Lallana, don't sign for our club, but thanks for joining. Appreciate it. All I'm going to say is, as I said, it's not personal. It's just a Cambridge rivalry thing. Don't worry. But thanks for joining, Adam. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
one thing that I don't get about Arsenal fans, they banter
He's
us.
probably adamant.
Quality stuff.
Yeah.
But
Go on,
like,
Adam.
Arsenal fans banter us. But how the hell can they banter us when they can't even get the Conference League now? I'd rather not get the Conference League, but still, it's kind of embarrassing how they're not getting the Legit, all I've been hearing since we've signed Sancho is Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, he can't get into the England squad. Saka's clear." Do you?
Well, I mean,
they're the
that
type
didn't
of-
happen yesterday, did it?
Nah.
Oh,
They're
to
the
be fair,
type of people who probably think toothbrushes for your hair. Like,
well, I will add a bit of balance here, and I know I don't usually do it, but I'll add a bit of balance, and I'll say that Saka did pick up an injury. That's why he wasn't in the squad. Apparently, who knows? He might play in the semi-final. Who knows? He might play, but.
you better not.
Diego here says your De Gea is on too high a salary. You have two top quality world quality keepers. I think you should keep both of them whilst challenging from the Premier League and the Champions League. Interesting.
Yeah,
So he's saying
yeah,
you should
to be
keep
honest-
both.
Yeah, Siren, to be honest, Chelsea do it with Kepa and Mendy. So I don't think
true.
I don't see why we can't manage that, to be honest. But the thing is that we've signed.
Send all the rejects to Jose. I'm sure he'll take them.
Sorry?
Send them to Roma. I'm sure he'll take them. Send these fanboys, Matic along. Yeah, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, I'd worship Mourinho if he did that, actually.
Buy a clown, get Xhaka free.
I have a question for all of you.
Go on, what's the question?
With Sancho's arrival, who do you think is going to benefit the most from Sancho's arrival? Now I've got two players. The first player is Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka finally doesn't have to wake up and think, shit, I've got to play with James today. He can finally be like, you know what? I might be able to actually not have to attack again. Instead of having like bloody Pereira, James, Lingard on the right wing, and he's having to try and attack. Or I've got Greenwood, because when you look at it, Sancho is a reason why Haaland has lots of goals in the Bundesliga. Them two have like their thing going. I'm thinking, could him and Greenwood have the same thing? Now that's if Greenwood starts, because we have still got Cavani, and he's probably going to be the starter.
No, I think it's an interesting question. Why are you laughing? I think it's an interesting question.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the complaint.
All right. All right. Oh well, that's nothing new. Nothing new. Owen being a bit of a laughing stock in the comments, but anyway, as I said, Adam, mate, it's nothing personal. Nothing personal. Right. Yeah, do you want me to bring up this one? He says, just to let you know, the sound on my phone is coming through 2 seconds late for some reason, so it sounds like I'm interrupting. No, Darryl, no worries. It sounded fine. No problem at all. Naveen has got an actual question. There you go. Who would have thought it? He says, thoughts on Saul Niguez, I think that is, from Atletico. Saul Niguez. What are your thoughts, lads? We'll start with... so he's off to Bayern Munich. Is that kind of done? Is that more finalised?
Oh, no, it's not done, but if I had to predict where he's going to go, I think he'll go Bayern.
Oh, fair enough.
I think they'll try and get him on loan.
Who's going to Bayern?
A deal to buy.
Sal?
Yeah, Saul Niguez.
I think they'll try and get him on loan and then possibly buy him for...
What, Sal?
Yeah, Saul Niguez, yeah.
First I've heard.
No, that's probably what... No, if I was going to put...
That's the first I've heard. There's been nothing on the buying up, and I've got actual buying up.
Oh, well, fair enough. Matthew wants me to give it to me in grey terms. That's a fantastic comment there when you watch a great cricketer. Naveen also says he's expecting more and more crosses next season. So we expect Cavani is fit and running, Greenwood also. Our attacking players are very, very scary on paper. Just hope they can perform together on the pitch. That's all I'm saying.
One thing, alright, I have to give it to you, Kieran. You were right about Maguire being underrated. Because one thing I looked
I don't want to take credit for it. You know.
Okay, shut up now. One thing I've noticed that most of our goals come from the right side and not the left side where Maguire is playing. And that's because Victor Lindelof is a meatball. And the thing is, alright, I'm going to say something so unpopular. Make sure there's no City fans in here. Otherwise, I will not
trust me, there's not.
I, personally, when you look at Diaz in the Euros, he's been awful for Portugal. And it's like double standard with City and United. Diaz does something no one talks about. Maguire does something, 80 million fridge. Does he? De Bruyne doesn't
you can get them for 100 quid in here, you know.
De Bruyne had... I'm going to read the stat. De Bruyne had apparently 25 misplaced passes more than completed passes in the game v Italy. And everyone makes excuses for him, but when it comes to Bruno, they always say the same thing. He doesn't fit that system, or he doesn't have that DM. When it comes to Bruno, if he plays bad, he's an overrated pen merchant.
Bro, Adam, just to play devil's advocate here, De Bruyne was carrying an injury, and he was not supposed to play. The doctor told him not to play, but he still carried on. It was a bad fracture to the ankle, apparently. Just saying. Just saying.
We like balance. We like balance on here. We like a little bit of balance. But no, I mean, I agree, and in a certain extent, to the fact that, you know, Bruno. I mean, for example, I remember when Portugal went out, the amount of hate Bruno Fernandes got. I mean, in some ways, as a United fan, it was a bit like annoying, but at the same time, for me, it's almost better. I'd rather people hate on our players, because in the end of the day, the more they hate, the more hopefully that'll
Have
fuel
you
them, the
noticed
more
also something as well? Before Sancho joined United, people were saying, "Oh, he should start for England. He's got loads of potential." Now he's joined United. Now fam, he's overrated. He's gonna flop at United. He's gonna be another Sanchez. Like, it's crazy how they can just join United and they
No, that's
automatically
just
get
Arsenal
hit.
fans.
You love to see it though.
Yeah, you love to see. You really, really do. Owen needs to go back to spelling class or whatever it is. That's all I'm seeing in the comments.
Special.
Yeah.
The Owen spelling bee.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, if he spells like he predicts, he needs some work. He needs some help.
No,
He said, "You guys go into the pub for the game. Maybe we could do a Red Deal weekly meetup for the same file." Yeah.
There's only one problem, Owen. I don't think my bike would go that far.
Get the rounds in.
Well, that would certainly be the meat in the sandwich.
Exactly. If Owen's paying for it, then we'll all go down. We'll all have a jolly. We'll all go down to Box Park, wherever it is, and we'll all go there. Naveen is asking about Calvin Phillips.
No.
Calvin Phillips for United. Tom, you've weighed in straight away. Go ahead. What's your thoughts on it?
No. Local lad from Leeds. I'm not interested.
Oh no.
I'm not interested.
It's a good point.
What's
It's a
that
good point.
noise?
I'm not going to lie. He's England's best CDM. Put it that way.
Yeah,
He's England's best CDM.
I'm still not interested.
Muller's Weiss.
I'm still
I wouldn't mind him. I know I hate him.
Nah, but I still don't rate Phillips. He got owned
I'd
when
like
he
him to
played
consider
As
against
soon as
United.
Bielsa leaves Leeds, half of the players will leave shit. As soon as Bielsa leaves the club, half the players are going anyway.
Phillips is decent.
Bruh, Phillips was played off the park by McTominay and Fred. I don't want that guy anyway.
In fact, talking of Fred, have you noticed that McTominay and Fred have been doing like better than they have done for United for like international? For me, I think McTominay and Fred are their biggest problems. For Fred, it's McTominay. They're both each other's problem. So
you see, the thing is, they're the same player. One of them's just had a growth spurt, and one of them hasn't even grown at all. It's basically the best way you can put it.
Yeah. I think when you pair Fred next to a person like, for example, Pogba or something, I think Fred would do better there. I think them two are just each other's problem.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. I think that's a very interesting point. Maybe actually when you break up the partnership, they actually play better. When you play McTominay next to Pogba maybe, or I mean I wouldn't play Pogba in the pivot, but if you broke up the partnership, maybe they do play better. But at the same time, I feel like for that exact reason, we need a better CDM for me. For that exact reason.
By the way, I'm hosting my new award, Idiot of the Week.
Go on, can you give us? Go on, can you give us a preview? Who's your idiot of the week?
It's been announced. The idiot of the week goes to Jose Mourinho.
Oh yeah, of course. Look, I'll tell you what. Some of the calls he made on Luke Shaw were inspired. It was just for him to go to his new backyard.
I mean,
he
got serenaded when he went into bloody Rome, did he not?
He did.
It was like the Pope was coming home. People that were bloody there.
Oh my! You wouldn't have thought he'd managed Inter Milan as well. You wouldn't have thought.
That's what I mean.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, who knows what Jose Mourinho is going to do? It'll be interesting to see how he does.
Sanchez is interesting.
Naveen mentions Renato Sanchez is sensational this season for Lille and in the Euros. Can we get him if Pogba leave? Well, is Pogba going to leave? That's the mystery we've been asking ourselves for the last 4 years, and it still isn't solved.
The thing is with Pogba, Man U need to make a decision this summer. If he's going to stay, then obviously keep him. But, at this point, it's like, I don't think he's going to stay now. Pogba, in the Euros, he was brilliant. You know, he was playing like man of the match in every single game for France. Mm. 1 minute.
Oh,
All right, no worries, Adam. No worries, Adam. Daz has gone as well. Oh, Daz has gone at the same time. So and then there were two. This is the final.
I was going to
let's
say
see.
something to Adam as well, man. I was going to say,
Naveen...
if you got that DM next to Pogba, do you think that'd make him stay?
All right.
It could
What do
be.
you all think about Palhinha, though? The guy who played for Portugal, the defensive midfielder who played when this guy got injured. What do you think about it? The Sporting defensive midfielder.
Oh my God, John! Never mention a Bayern Munich player in Arsenal.
Pedro Goncalves, is he on about?
No, not Pedro.
You want
No.
Kimmich would leave.
João Palhinha.
Came in fifth. My backside.
Oh, John.
No chance.
What you are, a
Kimmich
wind-up
won't be
merchant.
fine.
He's an absolute wind-up
Why
merchant.
would he go to? Why would he go to a club that can win? Why would he leave a club that can win trophies and go to a club who can't even finish in the European spots? Why would he go to a dead club like yours?
Well, beats me. I agree. I think even he would be a bit apprehensive, to be fair.
I mean, they got relegated by they got bloody rejected by a championship player, did they now?
They did. They absolutely did. That's correct. That's absolutely correct.
Villa beat them to a play.
Come off it, Podolski. Seriously.
Podolski was crap though.
Exactly.
You can't use that. You absolutely. That's shameless.
I didn't even know Podolski played for Bayern half the time.
Okay, John says. Ozil left Real Madrid to go to Arsenal when Arsenal are on a 9-year trophy drought.
Money talks, John.
Exactly that. And also, you were saying that Varane wouldn't want to come to United. Case in point, if Ozil can go to Arsenal, why wouldn't Varane want to come to United? Case in point. You just proved your point. You just proved our point, really. Rich says Podolski was past his best. Yep, another good point. As Dazza said, he was crap, and Dazza would know. Dazza would know.
Podolski was a Schweinsteiger signing, like how we signed him.
Yeah, another good example actually. Schweinsteiger as well. He was over the hill, and everyone remembers Ed Woodward saying that Schweinsteiger would send shivers down the spine of the opposition when they saw him standing in the. Didn't end up happening that one. But yeah, we've talked a little bit about transfers. We're heading towards. You don't think so? Do you reckon he would? Do you think there'd be any club? What about a?
I think it's if anything. If he left Bayern, he'd probably go to
Real Madrid.
Team. He certainly wouldn't come to the Premier League.
I think he'd retire. Early retirement.
Could do. I mean, he looks a quality player, to be fair to him. Luckily, he wasn't on his best against England, but he looked a quality player. So if anyone's got any last thoughts in the live chat, we are heading towards the hour mark. So any last questions or comments. Also as well, I know that Rich will be doing a stream after this, so make sure you do check out his channel as well for that, and make sure you go over there and show him all the support that you can, and I know you can, because it's been fun. It's been fun, for me to come back. Obviously, it's been a month out. I've had my rest. I've done my recovery. I've been on the treatment table. But we're back. We're back doing streams. Says he's been getting banter all day. Vieira, first two signings might be Mbappe and Palace. Well, mate, I tell you what, keep open. He says, with that said, I'm 100% behind my new manager, Patrick Vieira. I thought it was an interesting appointment.
I thought it was a good appointment, to be honest.
We'll see. I don't know.
Controversial.
It was a little bit controversial, to say the least, to be honest. I saw a few Everton fans having a rant about that. Owen, you're not going to get me. We've tried this before. You're not going to get me with that, so we'll just take that off. Cheers, Rich. Appreciate it. I said, make sure you check out his channel. Go over there after this one. It's good to be back. Yep, I saw it and I just tried to ignore it.
He's
To be honest,
getting baited.
I just tried to ignore it.
Someone else tried
Naveen's-
to get me yesterday and just showed up to me.
Naveen says Kimmich is like Philip Lahm for Bayern. He never leaves Bayern, so you reckon he'll be a one-club man?
Thank you.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, there you go. And Naveen says Varane, Kessie. Oh, Kessie. He did well against us in the Europa League, I tell you. Varane, Kessie, some decent backup right back, and that is his list. That's his wish.
Kissy.
What's happening?
Is it just me or I can't hear Kieran at all?
Yeah, I can't hear him too.
Kieran.
Key when your sound's gone.
Kieran, you've died. Get the mind reading.
Only just realised now. Welcome to the sound of silence.
We still can't hear you, Kieran.
Oh,
Still can't hear
Jesus.
you.
The joys of technology.
Right.
There we go. We
Well,
can hear you.
well, it's never.
We saw the passion. We saw the rant.
It was never going to be plain sailing, was it? A month
I know
out,
the
never
other-
going to be plain sailing coming back in.
Yeah, we just heard you
Oh.
saying something, and then all of a sudden it was. Well, I think.
Oh, brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, there you go.
Hang on for a minute.
I love this
mate.
game.
Well, there we go. Appreciate it,
game, it's a
Diego.
stream.
Appreciate that.
Oh god.
Red Manx TV, thanks very much for watching. Long time no see to you, my friend. It's good to be back. Make sure to check out Red Manx TV as well. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in, my friend. And yeah, thanks for letting me on the channel as well during the season as well. Let me have my say on there. Make sure to check out Red Manx TV, as I said.
Oh, John.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably a fitting way to end the stream. That I'm going to be honest, it's probably a fitting way to end. But yeah, John says Kieran was swearing. Owen and Matthew clearly. Listen, John, you don't. I wasn't. Trust me, I was. I can't even remember what I was saying. I've been caught up in all the hullabaloo. I've forgotten what I was actually saying. But it was something meaningful. As usual, something meaningful. Owen says, anyone thinks Kieran streams are better when his mic cuts out. Well, thanks for that. I thought that was going to be a nice comment.
Yawn. That's a good spelling again.
Thanks, Owen. Thank you for that, mate. Appreciate it. Really appreciate support there, mate. Naveen says, thoughts on Ruben Neves. I'll tell you what, we'll end on this then. Thoughts on Ruben Neves. Is there any possibility he comes to Man United?
Ruben Neves.
Oh yeah, of course, like Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Neves. But we'll start with you, Graham. We'll finish on you. Thoughts on Ruben Neves, then, as Naveen's asked. Thoughts on Ruben Neves. Do you reckon he's a decent option?
He's a decent option, but we'll never get him. I don't think we'll ever get Ruben Neves, and it's not a player that Solskjaer is going for. Not his type of player. But
No.
let's see. I'm still hopeful that we get a CDM in before the end of the transfer window. Hopefully, we do get that in after Varane, obviously. So yeah, if we do get a CDM, it'll be the perfect transfer window. Since a very long time, for sure.
Exactly, that was part of the master plan. All right, Tom, what are your thoughts on the Ruben Neves then before we end?
Never come to Man United. If he's going to go anywhere, I don't think he stays in the Premier League. I think he'll probably go abroad. Spain, wherever, I don't know. Atletico Madrid or somebody would probably have him for the right price.
Portugal.
You never know. Well, he might end up at Tottenham. You never know. We knew now. He loves the Portuguese that much. You never know.
That is true. That is very, very true. Wolves was basically Portugal's second 11. And finally, Dazza, you get the last say. Are you echoing these guys' thoughts of Ruben Neves? Whilst he's a decent player, probably won't come to United.
Well, I don't think he'll come to United. Simple answer.
Well, there you go.
Not
There you
gonna
go.
be-
Short and
You can't get
short and sweet.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't
Did
say
you know-
fairer than that.
Did you know I once went to the shop?
Oh
I
god.
once went to the shop to get 6 cans of Sprite. Only when I got home I realised I picked 7 up.
On that note, I want to say thank you to my guests. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Graham, Tom, and Dazza for all coming
Cheers,
on.
mate.
Appreciate you guys.
Great
Always
stream.
good to have you on. Good to be back. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it for clicking the link. And Adam, of course. Can't forget Adam, who had to leave prematurely. We'll hopefully find out why that was. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And yeah, good to be back. Good to be back. Hopefully we'll do more streams like this. Hopefully
You
there'll be
went
more.
up prematurely.
Hopefully there'll be more exciting transfer news coming. Hopefully around VARANE. Hopefully around a CDM as well. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And we'll see you in a bit. But until then, thanks for
Cheers,
watching.
mate.
And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.